great reason to build a team in other places. I like to ask you to think about people that you know who live in different states and share the opportunity with them, because what about when Hurricane Katrina hit and the whole place was wiped out? If that's where all of your business was, everything that you did was right there, you wouldn't have had a business for a while. And I don't know if a couple of weeks ago I shared with you guys that when that actually did happen, Mary Kay was so gracious and generous that she sent every single beauty consultant in that area a brand new starter kit and $600 of product to restart her business with. Is that amazing? Mary Kay did not have to do that, but she knew that they had literally gone to ground zero, and in just a act of kindness to try to help them get their, I won't want to say their feet wet because they were pretty wet, to give them the opportunity to get their business up and going. But can you see that in times of crisis, how smart it is to have unit members in other states? Because when you have a team who can still work, even if you can't, what about even when the winds came through Ohio? And I know that we were personally without power for 10 days. I couldn't do anything. And so, again, I still had unit members working in all different states, and so it just did not even affect me. So I want you guys to all have that same thing and be thinking, where do I know people in other states that I can share this opportunity with? Okay, so tonight, I promised you that I was going to help you get on the date book. How many of you are excited to get on the date book? Are you excited? Okay. Well, I want you to know that booking is the lifeline to your business. It always means everything. And how seriously you take booking, how seriously you take this, honestly, will mean it will just mean everything for your career. It means how quickly you will move, how quickly you grasp it, how high you bounce when you fall, because you will have times where you may have 10 no's in a row. You may have 15 no's in a row. But what I want all of you to know is that if you have a time where you're making phone calls and you're actually making connections with people and you get 3 or 4 actual phone call no's, you stop and you call me. Because there's probably one thing that you're saying that we just need to tweak. Because it is unusual to get no after no after no if you're using the correct script. And so I remember when I first started this business and they gave me a script, and I thought it was the most cheesy thing I had ever seen in my life. And so I got to the line where it said, and is there any reason why you wouldn't want to get together with me? And I'm thinking, I'm so sure that's the funniest thing. So I'm not getting bookings and things aren't happening for me. And so my director says, well, are you going by the script? Are you saying this? And are you saying, is there any reason why? And I'm like, no, actually I'm not, because I think it sounds like really cheesy. And she said, well, I can promise you that if you start to practice it and you start to say it and it becomes you, it will no longer sound cheesy. She said, this business is about skill. It is a skill-based business. And so because of that, you have to build the skill. You have to say it over and over and over. And sometimes you do need to say it over and over and over in a mirror. How many of you took speech class? You know, speech and debate or whatever, and you stood in a mirror for hours and delivered your speech, trying to get your mannerisms all correct. Well, I want you to know that comes across on the phone. And so it is really, really important for you to be prepared before you get on the phone. And so you do need to practice scripts. And I'm going to give you some key components to making these scripts work for you. But very first is just be prepared. Being prepared means you know when you're going to get on the phone. Like you have a weekly plan sheet. You've decided Monday night is going to be when I get on the phone at 6 o'clock or whatever. You need to let, if you have children or you have other interruptions, you need to let someone else in your household know, this is when I'm going to make my phone calls, and so I'm going to need some quiet and uninterrupted time. Sometimes that means you may need to go to Panera. It may mean that you need to go to Applebee's and get a booth and just sit there for a couple hours drinking tea and just pay the waitress really well. She doesn't care how much you order. She just wants to be taken care of. So don't think that you can't move. I want you to know there's so many times that you will see my pink Cadillac sitting at North Park in Springboro in a center spot with my windows down. And if anybody even comes towards my window, I'm working, okay? And I go there so that I can get away from the distractions of dishes and laundry and somebody ringing the doorbell. I mean, even during the summer, you know, I have little kids that are coming looking for my son, and I feel like I have to get up off the phone and go to the door. And so I'll just simply go to the park to remove myself from all distractions so that I can do that, because the most important thing in this business is for me to have bookings on my date book. When you have bookings, you are never worried financially. The only time you are financially worried in this business is when you look at your date book and you have snow blindness, when there's nothing there. And so I've been there, and I've allowed myself to be on the date book and then fall off the date book and have that sick feeling, and then have to figure out what it takes to get back on the date book. And so being prepared, knowing when you're going to make your booking calls, having a list with names and phone numbers, and your date book needs to be highlighted. You cannot work from 2 date books. If you're trying to work from 2 different date books, you are going to miss something. And it's going to be something important, and it's not going to be pretty. You need to work from 1 date book. You also need to write down everything in that date book so that other people can see how busy you are, especially when you're one-on-one and you're closing a class and you're talking about when's going to be better for you. Right here I can see that I do have Wednesday and Saturday available. Which one's better for you? They need to see. How many of you would be excited to go to a dentist and you say, oh my goodness, so, my crown fell off and I really need to get in right away? They go, well, you come right now, we don't have anybody all day. You'd be like, oh, maybe that's why my crown fell off. Okay? And so you like to work with busy people because busy people are professionals who have made a name for themselves. And so I want you to revere yourself as a busy professional. And so when you tell people, oh, I'm just doing this for hobby, just doing it for fun, they don't take you serious. They don't. You need to have a passion and a reason why you're doing this to share it with them so that they are on board with you. And so you need to set a date and time that you're going to book. You need to have your date book highlighted every single place that you can hold appointments. I literally take a green highlighter, and I like to use green because green stands for money for me. And at the beginning of the month, I go through my entire month at a glance, and I make a little streak mark. Wherever in that square is a good time for me to hold an appointment. Because the last thing I want to is when I'm trying to book an appointment is to be in controversy with my own schedule. And she says, well, Wednesday would work for me. And I go, oh, let's see, maybe I could move my hair appointment. No, I've had that booked for a while. You don't need to go into any of that kind of stuff with her. You need to say, I have Thursday and Saturday available. Which one's better for you? Okay? I want you to know this is what your service is. How many of you, what's your favorite place to shop? Somebody shout out your favorite place or your ideal place to shop would be if?
Nordstrom's.
Nordstrom's.
Yeah. Dillard's.
Dillard's. Okay. Let's say that one of those stores, you could call them and you say, excuse me, but could you please come to my house Saturday at 2 o'clock? And I would like to have your best wardrobe associate come with you. And when you come out, this is the size that I am right now, but I prefer you not tell anyone. But this is the size that I am right now. And these are the colors that I typically like to wear. And I want the latest style, the fashions, the colors. I want you to bring in everything that you have. And I want you to stand there and watch me as I try on outfit after outfit after outfit and tell me what looks best on me. But also, when you come, I really want zero obligation to purchase anything. And if I decide not to buy anything, I really do want you to leave with a smile on your face. But if I do choose to buy something, I really would like to know that I have a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Because in the past, I have watched things and they faded. I have watched things and they shrunk. And so I just want to make sure that I'm going to be taken care of if I purchase anything from you. Does that sound ridiculous?
Mm-hmm.
But that's what we do. That is the service that we provide people. So you need to be so incredibly proud of that service. You know that when you walk through the mall and you see people sitting in the chair getting their makeup done, you just want, even though you're married guy, you want to go plop in and just go, could you just do me? Could you just put some makeup on me? And so people enjoy that service. So the only thing that holds us back is that fear of rejection. We are so afraid of someone telling us no that we actually don't ask and risk not getting a yes or a no because we were afraid to ask. And if you choose to stay in that place, you choose to stay in this place. And so Gloria Mayfield puts it best. She says, look down at your feet And she's so funny, she goes, no, I said look at your feet. Keep looking at your feet. Are you looking at your feet? And she said, you better look at your feet because 1 year from now you're going to be standing in the same place if you don't do something. And so that's what I'm telling you. Look at your feet. It is January the 6th, January the 7th. Next January 7th, you could be celebrating in a real way. You could be in a Cadillac. I know many directors who in just 1 year's time won a Cadillac and became a director and changed the entire complexion of their life. But it's because they chose to not be afraid to speak out. And so it's not that you can't get them. Any of you who've ever called me and said, I can't get on the date book right now, and everybody's telling me no, I guarantee you, you take the prized person in your life and me tell you that if you don't have 5 bookings on your date book by 5 o'clock tomorrow, you would never have the opportunity to see him again. How many of you go, I'll try? You know you wouldn't. You would have those 5 appointments booked before you got out the door tonight. And so that tells me that it is possible. It tells me that something's holding you back. Something is in your way. Something's clouding your vision. Or you've just simply not got something big enough and good enough and exciting enough that you want to do that's willing to make you step out. And so they say that the pain of remaining the same will stay the same until the pain of the change is worse. And so you have to know that there's going to be some pain involved in growing and learning and educating yourself. It's never fun. I've been in 32 years. Do you think I ever celebrate when someone tells me no? I still go, wrinkles to you, and I walk off. I have all these funny things that I say in my mind so that I can laugh and move on. Nobody likes to be told no. But it's going to happen, princess. It just is. So, with that, this is something that